Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Tuesday the 11th of January. Starting with the ASX here, we're looking at this as wave 3 over here with an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here. We're looking at the first wave down as being wave 1 here. It's possible to have wave 1 here as well. We'll talk about that in a moment. Now with the US markets, we're going through the same thing as well. We've got wave 3 here with an A wave here, an A, B, C here for the B wave, and we've got an expanded flat correction here because we've got 3 waves that are above the top of wave 5 of 3 here. So that means we should take the low out over here, and we're looking at this being wave 1 here, and we'll look for an ABC correction here. And I want to just go to the tick chart and explain this because it's nice to know the pathway for this particular market. So we've got wave 1 here, and we're going back for wave 2 here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the A wave. We'll be going back for the B wave in due course. That could probably go a bit higher on that. Now I'm looking at that there. That can go a little bit higher. Let's just put that up there. But in a nutshell, we're looking for 5 waves here, then a correction, and then another 5 waves up. So that means that the Australian market can do much the same as well. Now we have made a new sort of low here, so I need to talk about, I had wave 1 here, we may need to put wave 1 here. So we need to run sort of both of those counts a little bit. But the main takeaway here is that this ABC for wave 2 will become clear, and then we'll be able to short into wave 3. That's going to be our strategy, and the same with the US markets as well. So let's just cruise in here into the 4-hour chart. So with the 4-hour chart, we had wave 1 here, and as I mentioned, we can put wave 1 over here as well, but it doesn't count very nicely as 5 waves here. That's what I need to talk about. But in one way or another, we're going to be making a move up. Now it's either going to be up in 3 waves up here, or it's actually going to be up in 5 waves here. This is, if I leave wave 1 here, then this would be the A wave, the B wave and the C wave, and the C wave would have 5 waves in it. And that's said and done, then we'll move down for wave 3, 4 and 5 at that point. So however, just in case I'm totally wrong, then the 7500 here, because from the top to the bottom here or here pretty much the same, the 7500 becomes the 50-60% retracement level. So if for whatever reasons we get some sort of we need that first high above the level, and then we'll have a little correction. I'm probably over dramatizing it a bit, but you know, we need that second high to go long on at that point. Yeah, so that's what we'll do if we're wrong. Okay, so let's just drill in a little bit further on this and understand this. This is my bullish pattern here, so we don't really need to go to this one because that's not going to be the case. So we're going to go to the tick chart, and we're going to bring in some more data here. So that should be enough, too much. So as you know, I did count down as 5 waves here for wave 1. Now, it's possible that I could put, I just want to explain, because the US, in case I've made a mistake, I just need to explain this, and wave 4 here, which is kind of okay, I guess, but sort of, well, the first thing here is that's definitely 5 waves to here, so we've got this down here, so it actually pulls back quite a lot. So normally we expect it to pull it back to the 40%, the 38.2, but you can see that it's kind of closer to the 61.8%. So sometimes when a market drops really quite quickly like that, they do bounce back quite kind of high. So yeah, I could take that with a pinch of salt. But if I put wave 4 here, it's pretty tricky for me to get 5 waves down here. I could do it in terms of, what have we got there, to get rid of that. So I could do it in terms of 1 here and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. So that would give me 1, 2. It's very difficult to get the 5 waves out of here, you know, that's what I'm thinking. So what I need to do is run 2 counts. So I need to run wave 1 from over here. And if we have wave 4 here, then we'll come down for wave 5, and I'll need to have wave 5 of 1 here. And this is what's going on in the US, and that's why I showed you in the US. Now, the 2 counts to the upside here, we know that the 75 is the 50-60%. So this little 5 waves here, right, that can make it can make wave 1 or the A wave. In the US, just coming back again, let's just drag this across over here. Could bring that up a little bit. So in the US, from the low, we've got these 5 waves up here to make wave A. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here to make wave A. It may or may not be finished this top. It looks kind of okay, but then we'll have a pullback here for either wave B or wave 2 here. But in the US market, we've got an A and a B and a C wave here. So we need to keep this in mind when we're going up here for this. So we can have the A wave here, the B wave come in, and there won't be any difference because there will be, when this is topped out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I'll just double this, okay. So in one way or another, there'll be some sort of little B wave here, probably coming back to somewhere of this support area here. And this is all dancing across the 7400, so we'll need to put that in, that's that there. And so the thing will be, we'll either get 3 waves up or 5 waves up. So if we go 1 and 2 or A or B here, then we'll look for another 5 waves up here, which if it's really long, then we'll know that it's wave 3 at that point. If it's shorter, then we'll know it's wave C at that point. So we can get to here and get to here, so to speak. And then we may have this 5th wave here, and then that would be wave C of 2 at that point. But we also need to be mindful that this could be wave 2 here as well. So a little bit of a tricky thing. So it's something that we need to work through. If you're going to go long today, then you could go long above, getting, whoops, daisy, that was pretty drastic. So we could put the first high above the level on 74, wait for that. You could buy the pullback in here as well. So yeah, any pullback you can buy. The reason you can do that is because we've got a clear 5 waves up. But this 5th wave here, that may be just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming up here further and then coming back down. Then you'll get a classic trading levels pattern. But as it stands at the moment, if we take this low here and take it to, let's just take it to that high there for the moment, and then we put in our 50-60% retracement level area here roughly. That means we could just highlight that up and make that green, and we could buy in that box based on those 5 waves. So you could do that. What's the closest largest number here? So we can go into, well, 8 is important. Group 2 is here, so we've got 65 in here. You can get that a bit more accurate than that's good enough, and 72 in here, you can get that a bit more accurate. Anyway, I won't put that in, but that's the space in here. So buying at 73.65 or on that low there, or even on the 72. Some people like to buy right on the low kind of thing. I kind of like to wait for the next little move up. I like the structure to be finished before I buy, and then I like to confirm. So, but that's where we are. So that's as much as I know at this point. Yeah, a bit difficult to get 5 waves here, so we probably could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. I have to pull that apart, and 1 here. That's probably 5 waves to that point, so 1 and 2. Yeah, it's just a bit tricky. So yeah, I mean, it's okay for a B wave to take the low out here and, things get warped, but it kind of looks right with 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5 here, but this was kind of a big wave 4 compared to wave 2 here. So yeah, bit of a rock and hard place, but yeah, so, and also on the short side as well, if we just get 3 waves up here, and then we come down from that point, what's this below wave B that that you can short? That would be safe at that point. If we get 5 waves up here, then I'll be around in the next video to chase that up. So that's that. I've just got to put this back here and then cruise on to CBA here. So it does look like CBA is going to make another little high here. So I'm thinking that I need to call this wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, even though it spiked down deeply, and then count 5 waves up here. So that will take us to 75 if I can look at that on the tick chart. On the chick chart. Freudian slip. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. I think I have to look at this as, and then 1 and 2 here, and then we're going 3, 4, 5 up here. So we're going to be going higher here. It's also possible that we can have this as the, so we're definitely going higher. That's one thing we know, but you know, because I've had this as wave 1 up here, wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C wave here, and that's still in line with the finance sector, so I'm sort of okay with that when I look at beta shares and all that sort of stuff. But it's possible to have this as wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C here for wave 4 sitting here, and then continue to move up. But we'll do that, any support on top of the 5, then we'll look to go long at that point, and then we'll have a look at how everything else is going at that point. So over to the resources. Iron ore was a little bit quiet. Where's iron ore? Actually, just before we go to iron ore, I've been asked about India, so I'm just going to quickly took this. I took this count, so this is all the data I got here, so I had to look at the old BSE market, but 1 and 2 to get that from the BSE market here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third wave forward, very much like the S&P 500, and then moving up here. This is the monthly chart. The weekly chart is well, it's all the same, so I need to do this here. I think we're going through the same thing. I think I need to double check all of this. Actually, I need to double check it before I put that. I did have it there on the daily chart for some time, so I'll just check on that. But having wave 1 down here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and yada yada yada. So I was also looking for a B wave here based on the point that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this. There doesn't seem to be any overlap here, or not much anyway, just a tad. So because of that little tiny overlap there, or maybe it's there or not, have to look on the cash market. This is a CFD product, so it may be able to count it correctively with that overlap there. But I'll just give it a little bit of time at 18 here. Okay, because otherwise we will lose an A and a B wave here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So another little move up, going up here. So we can look for a classic trading levels pattern here if we're going to go long. So we would need, we need that as support, that this top here, or this second top in that particular case, you know. Otherwise we'll see one more move down through here. It may follow, you know, the S&Ps and that when they move down, but India kind of does its own thing, and that's why I like it. So anyway, we'll see. We don't have a long trade set up for India here at the moment. So moving along, yeah, back to iron ore. Iron ore was a little bit, not soft or anything, but I'm still expecting it to move up. So from the daily chart here, from this low here, we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So I want that little 5 waves to finish. I won't go into the tick chart today. I want it to finish, and then I'll see if we get a pullback in that point. But there's a good case now for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here, so for a bullish move. So it just helps us confirm that this is the A, the B, and the C at this point. Now, if this is the case, then that's going to push, you know, those stocks up in that sort of area. We've been looking at these stocks to push up to their 61.8%. So BHP has obviously got copper in it, and I don't know if it's sold off its 10% in crude yet and all the rest of it. Crude pushed up last night. So so anyway, this has obviously still got further to go up into this box here. I'm also looking at this being the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave, but otherwise I need to call this an A and a B and a C and back into here. So yeah, but anyway, we've still got further to go up there, and that will be the same for more so with Rio Tinto. It's got further to move up into its box there as well. We looked at going long here again yesterday. Did gap up, so it should be all right. Moving up there, it should be a pullback there, but iron ore's got a little bit more to go, so it'll probably hit 110 before you see any sort of consolidation there. And also with FMG was also up about 1%. I think it can go higher, but it'll sort of stick around here for a little while. The 20 will become a little bit like this over here, be something like that. So we'll just see how that plays out, and we'll check on the Aussie dollar. So just in the bigger picture here, this is the weekly chart here from the top here, all-time high here as 1 and 2, and all the way down for 3, 4 and 5 here for this. So we're looking for an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here, and inside of that we'll look at this as being 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here for the A wave, and then we're looking for some sort of B wave in here, and then down for the C wave here, and then up over here. So we're in this B wave situation here, so just with that in mind going into the daily chart. Here we need to look at this as the A wave being completed down here. We've got 3 waves here. So yeah, it's going to be in sets of 3. It's going to be a little bit tricky. There's a couple of things that are going on here. We could put wave B here, or we're going to look at wave B coming into play. Let's just go to the 4-hour chart and pick this up because it's a little bit complicated. But we're in a big intermediate wave B. So this is the B wave here. This is the A wave. How we get from A to B is a mystery, but in our first instance here, we don't have 5 waves here. We have an A and a B and a C wave. So we do have a 3-wave structure here. So we'll pop that in there as the A wave, so that's cool. We do have an A, B, C back here, so it's possible to put the wave B here for that, like in there, but it would make it a little bit small, that this whole B wave here being a bit small compared to this one here, its relationship. So I'm thinking that we've got an A, B, C here for the A wave, and then an A and a B and a C for the B wave here. And if we do get the first high above the level here and we continue, we'll take that long trade to the upside. We want to catch that. But otherwise we're going to have an A and a B and a C wave here. So we can just copy these and chuck those in there and pop that there. So if we get that first high above the level and then that gets breached, we can go along there, but otherwise we're going to fade to the downside here on that. Just get rid of that. So look, there's a lot of work to do here. It's just going to get sort of pretty choppy. One of the big things here, if I can just go back to maybe the weekly chart just to explain a few things here in a way. So in a way here we've got, it's kind of like we're in group 2 here, because we always talk about 65, 72 and 80, and the 72 roughly is halfway between these 2 levels here. So it's the balance point, a bit of a Gann trick. Not that I'm an astrology trader, this sort of beyond my intellect a bit, but he's certainly got some handy little tips here and there if you can decipher them. But anyway, what I want to do here is just point out 65, 72 and 80. So this is where we're playing in, and we're on the 72 here at the moment, so right in the middle. So we can expect it to be vibrating around at that, within that space. So when you think about it back here as well, I should really highlight this 72 in here to be, well, just note it anyway. So it's, carrying some weight here. You can see it, and it'll continue to do that. So it's going to be a dominant number, the 1 and the 3 above. Because when we talk about, if we talk about 65, 72 and 80 here, it's a bit of a group 2 thing. But because it was such a big size here, I don't really call it group 2. But I wanted to call it group 2 now just to highlight the 72 within all of that. And but breaking it down further, we've got 70 here. And then with 70, we've got group 1. So 1, 2 and 3 here for this. So that's also going to play out here. And then we got 5 up here for this. So this B wave can also be a little bit higher as well. So from this top to this bottom here, we can look at this being yada 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 in here somewhere for that. So we can just delete that, put big bad B wave there, put that there. Yeah, so a bit more of a, we'll see how that we'll see how it plays out at that point. I mean, because there'll be some sort of equality relationship between the length of wave A and the length of wave C. But we still want to get it up to 75, up to these old supply highs here, so to speak. And because it's corrective here, I'll be mindful of any further downside here as well. So far we've got 3 waves, but they could be down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, and and coming down further. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. But we're kind of expecting it to come down a bit further out where we saw a bit of a picture here and here, and then looking for 5 waves to the upside. Too many objects on a chart. Well, that stops me yakking a bit, doesn't it? So that's okay. I'll just clean this up. Don't need that trend line. Get rid of what I don't need. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that, that, and that. Don't need these. Just cleans it up a little bit on this chart, so I'll clean some others up. So I'll just leave it all at that. So thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.